Welcome to Soul Talk 101, a series of mini lessons to teach you the language of the unconscious through bite-sized nuggets of information and hands-on activities. My name is Dr. Deborah Lukovich. I'm a depth psychology coach, which means my expertise is the study of the unconscious. I'm also an author, blogger, Instagrammer, and podcaster. All ways I overshare my crazy midlife adventures and entice people to explore their inner world. This program is for you if any of these things are true. You're feeling trapped in a situation, job, or relationship, and you can't figure out how to accept it or leave it. Or you've already had a crisis or an unraveling, and now you need a framework for reconstructing your new self. Or after ending a long-term relationship, you jumped into a new one and now you see red flags you couldn't see before. Or after divorce, you did the better thing by focusing on yourself first, and now you're feeling insecure about dating, love, your body, and sex. Or you're just obsessed with depth and curious about the deeper meaning of everything, including obsessions with Netflix series. You see, your mind isn't going to get at the root of these issues. Even science affirms that unconscious forces direct up to 95% of who we are, how we make decisions, our emotional responses, personality quirks, and even who we're attracted to. What you consciously know about yourself is just the tip of the iceberg. For these lessons, you'll need a journal to capture your reflections in written form. It could be a Word document, that's what I use, and an image journal to draw when words are just not available. Are you ready to get to know yourself better? This lesson is called The Discovery of You, and its purpose is to get you excited about exploring your inner world. We'll cover 4 things: the benefits of self-reflection, the nature of soul, a personal story, and your formal invitation to begin this Indiana Jones-like adventure. Let's start here. Do you really know yourself? Have you considered the larger forces that have shaped you? Do you know why you believe what you believe and where your assumptions about certain types of people came from? If you're angry these days, do you know the old wound that's being triggered right now? Do you know the hidden unconscious agenda behind why you married your partner, or pursued a certain career, or even why you decided to have children when you did? Feel free to stop the video and let one of these questions sink in and activate your unconscious. Where does your mind go? How does your body feel? Can you get through life without this depth of self-reflection? Sure, and many do. Others reach a point in life, maybe that's where you are right now, when what used to make sense doesn't anymore. It can feel like an identity crisis. Your patterns of thinking and behaving are what helped you survive and thrive up until now, but eventually some of them stop working and start holding you back. If you don't recognize them, you'll feel frustrated by why certain things are happening in your life. And you won't understand that what might be holding you back is not the outside world, but your own kind of glass ceiling. These patterns are not bad, rather, they're the stepping stones to something new and better. I've got some more reflections for you. What did you learn about love when you were a child? It's a deep question. How about friendship, work ethic, or how to manage the tension between meeting your needs and those of others? What is your relationship with authority, and under what conditions is it okay for you to challenge authority figures? Pause the video and journal your answers to the most intriguing question for now. We're going to get your unconscious juices flowing right away. Answers to questions like these are clues to discovering what a deeper part of you wants from you right now in this current situation. It can be scary to peel away the stinky onion layers, but there is treasure underneath, including finding forgotten desires, new desires, and unrealized potentials. Now, let's talk about who or what is doing the communicating through your unconscious. The deeper part of you can be referred to as soul, or self with a capital S, or even God or creative intelligence. I think about soul as that part of you that knows more about you than you do. And soul transcends your physical form. Soul connects you with everything and everyone. And soul allows the source of creative energy to mix with your unique human experiences for the purpose of creating only what you can create. Soul is also a perspective, a way of living life, a drive to find meaning, and soul is how we make meaning. Soul cannot be pinned down, which makes sense because soul is of the unknown. To illustrate, here's a personal story about finding the hidden agenda behind what your mind thinks is driving you. I was 40 and I had been nominated to receive an award. I was standing at the podium about to give my short speech, and after a few words, my voice began to crack. Oh no, I thought. Tears were making their way up from a deep place. Then sobs came as I read these words to the audience. I make a difference walking around being me. I was so embarrassed, and I continue to have the kind of big cry you don't want to have in front of 100 people. I couldn't move. I saw my 12-year-old son whisper something to my husband, who then got up and made his way to the stage to rescue me. What was that about? I wondered. In that soul-making moment, I learned the deeper drive behind my activism was a desperate need for validation that I was good enough. The big soulful sob shifted something in me, and you'll come to see that I'm a big fan of big cries. Anyway, 8 years later, midlife unraveling began. During a moment of surrender, a mysterious force grabbed me and called me to study depth psychology. I didn't know what it was or why I had to study it. It was expensive. I knew my husband was not going to go for it, but an inner voice told me it was the solution to something, although I didn't know what. If I hadn't surrendered to my inner being, I wouldn't have had all the amazing and intense experiences that have brought me to my new life now, where I'm still unfolding, and it's pretty exciting and scary. This is what I want for you. Your soul is speaking to you all the time, but are you listening? Or do you dismiss those fleeting nudges? When you do hear the whispers or pause to wonder about a synchronicity, do you understand the messages? I know you have days where you feel a powerful urge to do something different, and then another part of you uses logic and reason to push it down. Or maybe you understand the message clearly, but you're afraid to take the actions to answer the call. And there will be people who will disapprove of your new journey to find truth. But that's because it's shining a light on the denial of their own. Will you allow me to be your guide, to teach you the mysterious language of the unconscious, which holds the key to whatever is making you antsy or anxious or angry or stuck? One more thing to inspire you to accept this invitation. C.G. Jung, one of the founders of depth psychology, said something like this: the fate of humanity depends upon the self-reflecting individual. Avoiding self-reflection leads to getting trapped in conventional thinking when it's time to do some updating of that thinking. Self-reflection is like a muscle that needs to be developed, a kind of inner and higher moral authority that you can call on amid chaos. Your own self-reflection contributes to collective consciousness, whether others do it or not. That's how important you are. Here is your assignment for this lesson. Continue reflecting and journaling about 1, 2, or all these questions. In future lessons, I'll be teaching you specific approaches for working with these images and finding meaning in them. But for now, see if you can find a theme, a pattern, a metaphor, or even a hidden motivation behind the decisions that have brought you to this moment. If you don't have words for what you're feeling, try drawing. Or process through movement. Pondering a question while cooking a homemade meal may bring about a powerful insight, as might reflecting while you dance to your favorite music. See what happens. Oh, and pay attention to your dreams now and situations that trigger you going forward. My goal for this lesson was for you to realize that most of you is unknown and that you're receiving messages from your unconscious all the time. Messages that are clues about how to overcome a challenge, get out of a toxic relationship, become more comfortable with your body and sexuality, discover your true desires and how to get them, and how yourself is leading you to unfold over time without telling you more than you can handle. I suspect you are already going to be more alert to all the ways your unconscious is trying to get your attention, even though I haven't told you what they are yet. See you in the next lesson. Thanks for attending Soul Talk 101. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. Visit my website, deborahlukovich.com, to get more free content like blog posts, podcast episodes, and information about my coaching services and my new book, Your Soul is Talking. Are you listening? Take care.